This is the Jason Walker Show. Two-time National Sports Media Association Montana Sportscaster of the Year and three-time loser, the Jason Walker Show. The best local and statewide sports coverage, featuring the biggest guests from Montana.
Clint Rasmussen joining us here on the Jason Walker Show.
He's freaking exhausting, too. You used to dance a lot more. Yeah, I know, lady. I'm 51 years old now.
The NAI Hall of Famer Mike Van Diest joining us here, Jason Walker Show. And is it just a deal where quarterbacks have to be good golfers?
Well, that's all they have time for. They don't work out. They don't lift weights. They don't do anything else. They might as well go get on the golf course and at least have some fun.
And from across the country,
Doug Gottlieb, our guest here on the Jason Walker Show.
End of the day, remember, it's your show. It's got your name on it.
Howie Mandel, our guest here.
Jason Walker, deal or no deal?
the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome and happy Thursday. Jason Walker Show, hanging out in the Above All Handyman Services Man Cave. For any work you need done inside around the house, outside around the house, on the house, they'll get it done. Get a hold of Above All Handyman Services in Helena and also in Colorado Springs. Let's see here. Had fun yesterday. Gonna have fun today too. Coming up on the show, we're gonna chat with the newly crowned Miss Last Chance Stampede, Amber LaCross. What was it like hearing her name called in Cool Alley Arena as the winner? Also, Mrs. Montana's gonna come up, and Katelyn Knebel. She is a Montanan through and through, and she's running for Mrs. America. Leaves next week, so we'll talk with her about her platform, which is lupus and autoimmune disease. So we'll talk with her coming up, and also relive some of the haying days of Walker and Sons Custom Haying from back in the day with her, because lots of connections there. So fun stuff coming up with Katelyn Knebel. Let's see here. Let's get started. You can watch on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Listen on Podbean, Network One Sports. JasonWalkerShow.com is where all of our stuff is. And you can always go there. Billings Royals. Maybe they'll go there. They scored all the runs in the second inning. 5-1 victory over Gillette in Gillette at the opening round of the Northwest Regional Legion Tournament yesterday. Jaden Turner leading the way with 5 1/3 innings to get the victory, just one unearned run for the Montana-Alberta state champs. Royals scored 5 times in the second inning, and it's a big win. Hunter Eliason closed it out, gave up a hit, had a strikeout. Royals now will play Medford, Oregon tonight in Gillette at 7 p.m., looking for a regional title to head off to North Carolina next week. That would be awesome. And good luck to the Billings Royals. 3 Montana Grizzlies named to the Buck Buchanan Award preseason watch list. I'll tell you who they are after I tell you the opening segment of the Jason Walker Show. Is brought to you by Montana Custom Log Homes, the premier log home company in the industry. And they have 3 distinct divisions, so you can create the log home of your dreams and your budget. That's probably most important, especially in this day and age. And you can get a hold of them to discuss milled, handcrafted, and timber frame, 15 different floor plans, or you can go in with your own. And they have the best craftsmen available. So you can check it out, Montana Custom Log Homes at yourcustomlog.com to get started today. So the Grizz, 3 players on the 35-player watch list, given to the National Defensive Player of the Year in the FCS. North Dakota State, the defending champs, also with multiple players. Representing the Grizz, Patrick O'Connell, cornerback Justin Ford, safety Robbie Hauk. All 3 will be seniors. All were voted to the preseason all-conference team. O'Connell was voted the preseason Big Sky defensive MVP, currently ranks 10th in Grizz history with 20.5 sacks. He finished 3rd last year in the Buck Buchanan Award. And right now he's tied for 12th with 31.5 tackles for loss. Ford was 4th in the voting. Remember, Troy Anderson took 2nd. I thought that Troy was going to win it, and then O'Connell would win it this year. But let's see. Ford last year led the NCAA with 9 picks including an interception in 8 straight games. 2 he returned for touchdowns, also ran a blocked field goal back for a score. Hauk, third in history for the Grizz in tackles, and with 364, and he's just 33 shy of the record, so he'll get that this year. You've got Portland State defensive back Anthony Adams, Northern Colorado linebacker David Hogue on there as well. Adams was actually a finalist for the award 3 years ago, and there you go. 2021 recipient Isaiah Land of Florida A&M and 2020 winner Jordan Lewis of Southern, both on the list as well. 13 previous finalists on the watch list. All 15 FCS conferences are represented. Montana's had 3 winners since the award was first handed out in 95. Croy Bierman, Tyrone Holmes, Dante Olson. And it's a big award. Defensive Player of the Year in the FCS. So good luck and congratulations to those Grizzlies. They just had football practice starting in high school, well, in college, Frontier and Big Sky. And also high school gets started, next week? How crazy. I mean, we're in it now, my friends. Let's see here. What else in the opening? Northern Cheyenne basketball star Tawny Robinson will be inducted into the Nevada Sports Hall of Fame. And daughter of former St. Lebray champ Tim Robinson goes into the Wolfpack Hall of Fame next month. Won a basketball title in Lander, Wyoming. Led the nation in scoring for Sheridan College back in 08-09. And was the first enrolled Native American to be drafted by the WNBA in 2011. Phoenix took her in the 3rd round. Was born in Wyoming, McDonald's High School All-American, and started her career at Wyoming, became a mom, went to Sheridan, and then went to Nevada. Averaged 22 points and 6 rebounds her senior year. Played for Phoenix and Connecticut in the WNBA, and returned to coach at Nevada, and she's now the Director of Player Development. Her dad, Tim, Montana native, Northern Cheyenne and Sioux, won the state title with the St. Lebray boys back in 77, inducted in the Montana Indian Athletic Hall of Fame in 2020, also an Indian National Finals Rodeo bull riding champ back in 1986. Her mom, who is Pawnee and Shoshone, played at Wyoming basketball. So good stuff there. That's good. Lots of positives today. Love it. Absolutely love it. And going to have some more positive news next week that I can share next week. Can't share it yet, but it will affect the show a little bit, but not much. And it'll be a good time. Let's see. Speaking of good times, Big Fork's Jeff Neeson is having fun at the Montana State Senior Tournament up in Missoula. The Big Fork golfer, it leads by 7 strokes after the second day. Matches opening round with a 69, back-to-back 69s. It went from Tuesday at Meadow Lake in Columbia Falls, now playing at Whitefish Lake. So he's 6 under, has a 7-shot lead, and they'll play the final round today at Buffalo Hill Golf Club up in Kalispell. Bill Groton went 68 on his home course, puts him at, he's 1 over after his opening round 77 Tuesday, so he's in second. We mentioned 7 shots back. Let's see. Bill Dunn, who won the senior division at the Montana State Am last week, is tied for 4th with another guy. Dunn, a Capital grad, is the defending champ of the senior tournament. Won in 2021, mentioned last week with the Montana State Am down in Bozeman, and also last year won the Montana Mid-Am senior division. So good golf being played up in the Northwest right now. So there you go. All right, let's see here. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back, and we'll talk rodeo. Miss Last Chance Stampede. Speaking of rodeo, you got the Big Sky Pro Rodeo Roundup starting tonight in Great Falls. Could be some fun, great nights of rodeo up in the Electric City. And our good friend Blake Knowles will be up there in Slack, I believe, tomorrow and Saturday. They get 2 head up there, so he's running in Slack, not in the perfs, but he's sticking around, I guess, to watch. So if you get a chance to go up there, you might see Blake, who was on the show on Tuesday. And we'll recap what happened this week in rodeo, including last night, Big Timber. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Opening segment brought to you by Montana Custom Log Homes, the premier log home company in the industry. Veteran-owned, family-owned, woman-owned, and operated. Check them out at yourcustomlog.com today. Amber LaCross, Miss Last Chance Stampede. Next. Hang on.
Strength, beauty, grit, superior craftsmanship. Our homes have it all. At Montana Custom Log Homes, if you can dream it, we can build it. With 3 divisions and over 50 years experience, we've got you covered. From a showcase home to a small cabin, we make your vision a reality. Because every cowboy wants a castle for his queen. Montana Custom Log Homes, crafting homes that last for generations.
L&P Grocery offers Boulder a convenient shopping experience, whether you're stopping in for a few things or stocking up for the week ahead. From fresh produce and meat to all the staples you need to feed your family, you'll find it here. L&P Grocery is also proud to have partnerships with local brands and carry products unique to the area. Stop by to exchange propane tanks, pick up fishing tackle, grab your prescription, or get your photo taken at the Pitcher Kiosk. They're delighted to be the one-stop shop for local area Boulder residents who want to support local business. Visit lnpgrocery.com and at 215 North Main Street. Do you love to look at photos of Montana, from animals to landscapes and more? Are you looking for a place to get your senior pictures or family portraits done? Are you a business owner looking to upgrade the decor in your offices? Well, look no further than Mark LaRoe Photography. Mark has been shooting beautiful photos all across the Treasure State, from rodeos to portraits, and would love to work with you. Visit marklaroephotography.com to see many masterpieces of his work, then give him a call to schedule your own photo shoot. Or to purchase one of his fantastic pieces, stop by Spirit of the Big Sky Gallery on Custer in Helena. marklaroephotography.com. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show.
Summer, the season to work hard, play hard. The days are heating up and getting longer. The smell of fresh cut grass, the hot sun on your skin. We kidding. We all know you're really thinking about having fun and relaxing at the Copper Club Casino. Meet your friends for a cold one. Play a $5 or $2. When you want great service, cold drinks, and fun entertainment, this is the place. The Copper Club Casino, where everybody knows your name any time of year. On Euclid, across from Molendi Center, the Copper Club Casino.
Everyone knows about Dinners Done Right and the convenience of the cook and carry cuisines. It's so easy to just stop by and you have something for dinner that night. But there's also one more thing you need to know about. Dinners Done Right Grab and Go Salad Bar. Yes, I said salad bar. Always the freshest ingredients, along with a daily soup and nacho bar too. So the next time you are in a rush or you just want to eat healthy, stop by Dinners Done Right for the soup, salad, and nacho bar. For monthly menus and more info, it's dinnersdoneright.com.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today. Looking for something sweet before work? How about that fresh brewed coffee? Maybe a fresh baked cinnamon roll as you head in for another great day exploring. Then look no further than the Sweet Spot in Boulder. Whatever your pleasure, the Sweet Spot has everything to fix that craving. From daily specials and rolls to tasty cookies and more. Don't forget that caramel macchiato or espresso and many more of your favorite flavors. The Sweet Spot caters to the local community and cares about providing the best treats every day. Visit the Sweet Spot on Facebook or in Boulder at 102 North Main Street. Fall is officially here, and now is the perfect time to get your rig tuned up before the big hunt. That means a lift kit from Auto Concepts. An Auto Concepts lift kit will help take you places only the animals can go. And when you do get that big one, make sure you have help to get it home with a winch to pull it out. Or maybe you'll be a good friend and help pull someone out of the snowbank. Check out AutoConceptsHelena.com for more ideas. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $289. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back, Jason Walker Show on a Thursday. This segment brought to you by Rucker's Furniture. Make the quality choice for your home at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena. We got the Big Sky Pro Rodeo starting up in Great Falls tonight and in the Montana circuit. Of course, a lot of big names will be up there. Let's see what's on the day sheet for tonight. Let's see here. Trenton Martero, Caleb Bennett, going to be in Saddle Bronc. Luke G, Colby Bignell, Caden Camp, some of those in steer wrestling tonight in Great Falls. Sean Bird, Zachary Schweigert, Caleb Berquist, Tegan Leno, a couple of Bobcats there in team roping. Saddle Bronc, Dawson Hay, who just set a new world record in Saddle Bronc. Broke his brother Logan's record up tonight. Tie down, Bode Spring, Caleb Berquist, Quinn McQuarrie, former quarterback. Barrel racing, Sealy Salmon up tonight. Shelby Gill, Renee Cloninger. Bull riding, Jordan Hansen, one of the names tonight up there in Great Falls. So have fun if you're going to be in the Electric City tonight at the Montana State Fair. Also, rodeo starting to, well, actually, that was last night. Let's see who's leading. Leighton Berry, Austin Whitehouse, Brady Tryon, Justin Viles, Cade Bruno, Ty Harris, Aaron Williams, Jordan Hansen. Now let's go back and look at the day sheet for tonight, shall we? Because if I knew how to read, that'd be fantastic. If I knew what day of the week it was, that'd be even better. Let's see here. So those are the leaders after last night. Tonight, Clint Lay is up. Will Nordstrom is up in bareback. Jesse Brown, the steer wrestler. Tanner Milan. Curtis Cassidy. Team roping, the Minor brothers, Riley and Brady, out of Ellensburg, Washington. Jade Stoddard and Jesse Hines. Let's see, in Saddle Bronc, Carter Elshear. James J.C. DeSavior, who is really good. Logan Hay, we mentioned Dawson. Dawson rode last night. Houston Brown up again. Haven Medjid in tie down, the world champ. Bode Scott, Bo Cooper, Shane Hanchy. Barrel racing, some of the names, Maggie Polanchik, who won Last Chance Stampede. Heather Crowley, Abby Knight. Cole Wagner up tonight. Tristan O'Neill up tonight in bull riding. So that's going on in Great Falls. All right, now Sydney starts tonight, the Richland County Fair. You got the Northeast Montana Fair and Rodeo wrapped up in Glasgow last night. Let's look at those results. Let's see, Caleb Bennett won in Glasgow. He's up. He's good. Cameron Mormon won the steer wrestling. Team roping went to Clay Eulery and Matt Zaccanella. Saddle Bronc, Ty Minke. Tie down, Clint Kindred. Barrel racing, Paige Jones and Cole Hould won the bull riding up there in Glasgow. You had Big Timber weekly pro rodeo starting up last night. Runs every Wednesday. And last night in Big Timber, Jet Murphy in steer wrestling, the Helena Cowboy. Newtonovich there as well in steers, second. Nobody rode bareback. Team roping, DeLon Parker, Ryan Zurcher. Saddle bronc, Laverne Bortrager. Tie down, Landon Williams. Galen Malone won the barrels. Travis Mills, two-head fastest in steer roping. Nobody rode a bull. They'll do that every Wednesday in Big Timber for the next few weeks. So good stuff. Speaking of rodeo, you had Last Chance Stampede last week, and a newly crowned Miss Last Chance Stampede. Her name is Amber LaCross, and she joins us now here on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. All right, I haven't seen you since Friday. I guess you joined me at the very last moment of the show at the Last Chance Stampede VIP room, and lo and behold, the next night, you win the sash, you win the crown, you win the chaps, you win the whole kit and caboodle. How's life been in the last 5 days?
It's been good. A lot of congratulations. I had the parents of some of my students even sending me little congratulations texts, so that was kind of heartwarming. The kids were telling me congratulations. Pretty much just hitting the ground running, getting rodeo set up, trying to figure out where I'm going to be at next. So they're keeping me busy. Definitely.
So immediately you get to go to rodeos, right? To represent. I mean, it takes over right now, right?
Yeah. I believe it was the very next day was when my reign officially started. So
take me through that moment when you're out in the arena, in Cool Alley Arena, and you hear your name as the winner.
It was definitely insane. I mean, having done pageants before and having never won one before, it was definitely kind of just that, almost like a breath of fresh air, because it was oh my gosh, all this hard work that I've put in, I'm now finally a rodeo queen, and then immediately I'm starting to do all these things. So it was just kind of that cool, I did it, and then moving on to the next thing. So.
You get to carry a flag now for representing Miss Last Chance Stampede. How important is that to you?
It's so cool. Being able to just represent that association within the PRCA and being able to represent the rodeo it's insane. They've done so many cool and amazing things, and I just can't wait to be a part of that.
It's going to be a fun year for you. It's going to be a busy year for you.
Yes.
I know you're on your break at work, so you get the kids. You get to be all dolled up. They're not normal, Miss Amber. You got the sash and everything today.
I know. Normally when I'm at work, I have my hair up. I'm not wearing makeup. I come into work, and I work with really, really little kids, the 1-year-olds. And the first time when I first had to do the interview with you, I was also on my work break. And I came in with a full face of makeup and my hair all curled, and some of the 1-year-olds didn't even recognize me. So parents are going to hand them off, and they're crying because they don't know who I am.
Oh, that is fantastic. We are talking to Amber LaCross, Miss Last Chance Stampede. And it's going to be a whirlwind year, as we've talked about. And what's the first rodeo you get to go to? Is it Great Falls this weekend?
No, I don't get to go to Great Falls. I had actually agreed to help out with a rodeo way prior to the pageant. It's not even a PRCA rodeo. It's a Veterans Benefit Rodeo over in Ennis, Montana.
Oh, very cool.
Through Bear Hug Cattle Company. They're a pretty small organization, and they're putting on a little ranch rodeo to help some veterans out. And my brother is in the Marine Corps, so... It's something I just had to do, and now that I'm a queen, they were all sorts of excited. So that's going to be the first thing I do, and then the following weekend, I'm going to be doing Bozeman. So.
Oh, yep, okay. How's this going to work with your work schedule now? Because you're going to be on the road a lot more than you have been.
Yeah, definitely having to plan way, way ahead. I'm looking into October for when they do Miss Rodeo Montana, and just being able to be there at that pageant and helping out with that. So. Having to plan ahead, I'm really thankful that my boss is super cool and is very excited about me doing some of this stuff. So planning ahead, making sure I'm getting some of that time off in fast and ready to go, but also being able to work on the weekends. So
which is cool. We're talking with Miss Last Chance Stampede, Amber LaCross. So the Miss Rodeo Montana pageant's going to be in October this year?
Yep, during the Nile, it sounds like.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of right in line with that. So
gotcha.
We'll see. It's going to be a new venue, new dates. It's going to be pretty exciting.
Are you moving? Are you going to run for that next year then? Or try to?
Yeah, I would run next year, not this year.
Right. Yep, next year. After you hand in this crown to
yes.
someone else next year.
Yes.
And remind me again of your platform, because that's what that's a big reason you won.
Yeah. In regards to my platform, I feel like I have a little bit in just a lot of different areas. Early childhood is a really big one for me. I really support the law enforcement side of things as well, and being able to get law enforcement officers the necessities that they need, whether it be mental health services, the equipment they need to be able to do their job safely. That's a really big one for me. There's a lot of different ones. I feel like I have my hat in so many rings that, so. Hey,
there's nothing wrong with that. The law enforcement one hits home. My brother is a deputy in Townsend, so deputy sheriff. So yeah, that one's close. That one means a lot. I got the blue back here, as you can see. So
yep, perfect.
Yeah, we're all about that too. But it's nice because you get to go to these rodeos and talk about your platforms, plural, which is a big deal across the state of Montana.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, as a rodeo queen, rodeo is always like the #1 platform, but it's always really nice to be able to talk to some people about some other things as well.
How hard was the testing over the week? Well, I guess 2 weeks ago now, for this pageant.
The test actually I was told way prior that it was like one of the hardest tests, and it wasn't as bad as I was expecting it to be. So that made me pretty hard. Either I studied a ton, or I was able to really just people were overdoing it. So, but it wasn't that bad. There were definitely some that stumped me, but other than that, I didn't think it was too horrible.
You and Tiara Whitmish, your competitor, you guys are both great young ladies. You became fast friends, from what I understand.
Yeah, I mean, she was already, as soon as I won, she was tagging me in like posts about clothes, so, which I appreciated. Yeah, I wish I would have gotten to spend more time with her. She was just a genuine person, so I really hope that in the future she runs again, or I hope she runs again, because then we can spend more time together. So. Well,
it was funny when I had you guys on Friday at the Stampede. You know, I got the typical, either one of us would be happy with the other one won, but really deep down, I mean, are you happy? Is she happy for you? Would you have been happy for her?
I would have definitely been happy for her. She really, really worked hard, and you could tell she worked hard. So I hope that she continues to run again, or even goes to a different pageant. That was something that I really wanted to do, is because the pageant I had lost prior to doing this pageant, it just got my fire going. I was like, I have to win one. I have to do it again. I have to do it again. And my parents were like, oh, come on, you can like slow your roll down a little bit. But I had so much fun with it, and it's something I wanted to keep doing. And I hope that's true for her, and vice versa. If I would have lost, I know I would have been like, okay, let's do it again.
Right. So. You get the new chaps, right? Are they on order?
I got the white and teal ones. I know there's a brown pair that Clancy, I believe, donated. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with those, but I believe the brown pair are coming too.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think having the white and teal ones is super cool, because like now they're in my possession, and I'd only seen pictures of them in the past. So
how heavy is the tiara?
It was heavier than I expected. I was not expecting it to be this heavy.
What do you enjoy most when you're out there? Like, I mean, you guys are herding steers and herding cattle and helping out. What's that like for you? What's your favorite part?
It's fun, because being in, going out into the arena, being able to do a lap around, or just even getting to work cattle in the arena, it's such a fun experience, because this is something I do, with my family. If we're just doing like a little team roping at the ranch, and it's just like me and my parents, like we still have someone going out there and pushing cattle. So it's almost like I'm doing things that I've been doing my entire life, but I'm doing it kind of in front of a crowd. But it's a lot more fun. It's fun because I now feel like I'm in a position to where I now see these kids looking up to me. I see other people looking up to me, and it's a little bit of a nerve-wracking experience right at first, but you settle into it pretty quick.
early childhood development is important. You know, I've got a 4-year-old, so you know, that's when they learn the most, is their early ages, and people forget about that. So I know it's an important thing for you. So how much will you be able to focus on that too?
Quite a bit. I mean, this kind of came at the perfect time. I just graduated after getting my bachelor's. I want to go on and get my master's, but I wanted to take a break. So it definitely works. And I'm able to do a lot of continuing ed stuff online, thankfully. And those little classes can take me like an afternoon sometimes, and I can get credit for those.
Sure.
But it really helps because I'm still able to work in the field I love and be able to do what I want and plan a little bit for the future as well.
Last time we talked on this platform, I think you were sitting in the chair. Are you sitting on the floor?
I am. I forgot my laptop today, so I'm doing this on my phone, and the angles I'm trying to make a little better.
No, it's fine, but you're probably used to sitting on the floor with all the 1-year-olds.
Oh yeah, like this is nothing.
Reading books and coloring. Yeah, I get it. It's fun, right?
Oh yeah.
It's just a little bit different wearing your hat and all the gear.
Oh yeah, I know. They had to settle into me a little bit this morning. They're like, okay, we know who you are now. So
I know you got to give a big shout out to former Miss Last Chance Stampede, Kayla Seaman. She was a big help for you in this, and she's a great friend of ours, and we love her to death.
Yes, indeed. I owe so much to Kayla. I probably owe her like all the dinners in the world for helping me through this. She pretty much just retaught me how to walk and talk, and was throwing every little situation out at me, and it helped so much. And she's someone I just have always looked up to. And even before I even got to meet her, and when she was Miss Rodeo Montana, before I even got to meet her, so I owe her big time. So I'm so lucky to have her as a friend.
She's a little bit taller than you, and so I don't know if you can get a lot of her old clothes, right? Or, I mean, you'd have to really trim them down.
Yeah, she had a few that she loaned me that I tried on, and some were actually too small. I was a little shocked, but some were too small. I'm like a toothpick, so I had such a hard time finding clothes for some of this, but some were able to fit me, some weren't. She wasn't going to give me the good stuff right off the bat, so.
Have you been in contact with Katelyn Knebel, former Miss Rodeo Montana?
Yeah, a little bit. She actually loaned me some clothes for the pageant as well, so she was a big help to me.
Yeah, too, I was thinking of the hair and everything. She's, Kayla's blonde and Katelyn's got the dark hair, so. Yeah. And you're both right there in Bozeman area.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I got to meet Katelyn Knebel last year when I ran for a pageant, and got to know her a little bit, and we just so happened to all be running flags together for the Livingston Rodeo this summer, and got to talking. I was telling her about my pageant, and she was like, well, I got like the perfect shirt for you, and loaned me a few things, and was just a doll about everything. So
awesome. Well, I know you're on your break. I'll let you run, but congratulations, and
thank you.
I'm behind you for the next year. So at least as representing Helena and Miss Last Chance Stampede, and one of the great rodeos across the state. So have fun this summer, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you. You too.
Amber LaCross, Miss Last Chance Stampede. She's going to do a great job representing the Stampede and the state of Montana with rodeo. She's a fantastic young lady, so congrats to her. We'll take a break. We'll come back and talk to Mrs. America. What's the difference between Mrs. and Miss? We'll find out. We'll talk to Katelyn Knebel from Bozeman. She's got a big pageant coming up, so she's going to join us. Also on this day in history, and much more still to come here on a Thursday Jason Walker Show. Segment brought to you by Rucker's Furniture. Make the quality choice for your home at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $289. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Do you love to look at photos of Montana, from animals to landscapes and more? Are you looking for a place to get your senior pictures or family portraits done? Are you a business owner looking to upgrade the decor in your offices? Well, look no further than Mark LaRoe Photography. Mark has been shooting beautiful photos all across the Treasure State, from rodeos to portraits, and would love to work with you. Visit marklaroephotography.com to see many masterpieces of his work, then give him a call to schedule your own photo shoot. Or to purchase one of his fantastic pieces, stop by Spirit of the Big Sky Gallery on Custer in Helena. marklaroephotography.com. Looking for something sweet before work? How about that fresh brewed coffee? Maybe a fresh baked cinnamon roll as you head in for another great day exploring. Then look no further than the Sweet Spot in Boulder. Whatever your pleasure, the Sweet Spot has everything to fix that craving. From daily specials and rolls to tasty cookies and more. Don't forget that caramel macchiato or espresso and many more of your favorite flavors. The Sweet Spot caters to the local community and cares about providing the best treats every day. Visit the Sweet Spot on Facebook or in Boulder at 102 North Main Street.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today. L&P Grocery offers Boulder a convenient shopping experience, whether you're stopping in for a few things or stocking up for the week ahead. From fresh produce and meat to all the staples you need to feed your family, you'll find it here. L&P Grocery is also proud to have partnerships with local brands and carry products unique to the area. Stop by to exchange propane tanks, pick up fishing tackle, grab your prescription, or get your photo taken at the Pitcher Kiosk. They're delighted to be the one-stop shop for local area Boulder residents who want to support local business. Visit lnpgrocery.com and at 215 North Main Street.
Strength, beauty, grit, superior craftsmanship. Our homes have it all. At Montana Custom Log Homes, if you can dream it, we can build it. With 3 divisions and over 50 years experience, we've got you covered. From a showcase home to a small cabin, we make your vision a reality. Because every cowboy wants a castle for his queen. Montana Custom Log Homes, crafting homes that last for generations.
Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show.
Summer, the season to work hard, play hard. The days are heating up and getting longer. The smell of fresh cut grass, the hot sun on your skin. We kidding. We all know you're really thinking about having fun and relaxing at the Copper Club Casino. Meet your friends for a cold one. Play a $5 or $2. When you want great service, cold drinks, and fun entertainment, this is the place. The Copper Club Casino, where everybody knows your name any time of year. On Euclid across from Molendi Center, the Copper Club Casino.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back, Jason Walker Show. Final segment on a Thursday. If you ever want to reach out to us, our email, jason@jasonwalkershow.com, our Twitter handle, @jwalkersports. Got on this day in history, the walk-off coming up. But it is, apparently it's pageant day here on the Jason Walker Show. Amber LaCross, Miss Last Chance Stampede, last segment. This segment brought to you by the Copper Club Casino. Hot games, warm folks, cold beer. Stop in, drink, and gamble responsibly. She is Katelyn Knebel. She is the Montana representative next week at the Mrs. America pageant. She is Mrs. Montana, and she joins us now on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. All right, ma'am, it is a pleasure to chat with you here on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. I got to know how to pronounce your name first. Is it Knebel?
It's Knebel.
Knebel, like Knievel.
Yep.
Okay.
Just like.
Well, I took a guess and I went, yeah, all right. But we got it right, Knebel.
Yes, you did.
But Conkle, is it Conkle, your maiden name?
Colbeck.
Colbeck. Where did I get
Yeah.
Conkle? See, I'm just all over the place. It's a pleasure to chat with you. So what's the biggest difference between Mrs. Montana and Miss Montana?
So Mrs. Montana is a pageant for married women. I think you have to be somewhere in the 26 to 51 age range. Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
And then we do a lot of charity work with Victoria's Voice, and that is an opioid addiction, opioid awareness charity.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't look like you're in that 26 to 51 range. You look like you could run, 19, 20 years old.
Hopefully not the over 51.
No, definitely under 26. Why did you decide to run for Mrs. Montana?
So I decided to run. So my family is a fourth generation female-owned and operated ranch here in Bozeman, and I decided that I wanted to do something outside of ranching. We're so ag-based, we're so agricultural-based, and I wanted to do something for lupus, and I've been diagnosed with lupus for 16 or 17 years. So I just thought it was important that it's a time in my life that I have time for this, and it's a time that I want to share my story with the world.
I had a friend of mine on a couple of years ago, and she recently had been diagnosed with lupus. It's a painful disease.
Yeah.
How often, so 14, I guess you were diagnosed, but when did you know something was wrong?
I would say I was probably 11 or 12, and I had a lot of joint issues. I was always exhausted. I always had headaches. And as a kid, you notice stuff like that. And all of the doctors, I think it took a couple years to diagnose me, but they just said, well, she's a growing girl, just make sure she hydrates and goes home and rests. And there's only so much rest that an 11-year-old can get. And so we started looking further into it and stumbled upon some really great doctors here that sent me to Mayo in Rochester, and kind of finally put all the pieces together.
You've had it longer than you've been diagnosed. Well, you know what I'm saying.
Yes. Yeah.
But how have you, and this is great information for my friend, but how have you learned to cope with it?
So managing stress and managing symptoms is a huge thing. I would say stress is a big deal. Sunlight is a huge deal. If your friend or anybody that has lupus can get a really great support system and get a great team of doctors that want to do the homework, I think a lot of issues now is they want a quick fix. They want, go home and take an Advil, go home and take a Tylenol, but they don't want to dig, and they don't want to find the actual root of the problem. And they put me on, I've been on medicine the whole time. It's an anti-malaria. You probably heard of it during COVID, hydroxychloroquine. Mm-hmm. So they've had me on that for this whole time. And then I take a lot of injections that are, it's called Benlysta, and it's a newer drug. It's a little expensive, so you kind of have to have pretty good insurance to cover it. But, all of that, really great doctors, take care of your body, rest, listen to your body. And you need to advocate for your body as well. Nobody knows your body like you do. And if your friend is in pain or having weird symptoms, he or she just needs to push these doctors until there's some sort of answer.
Yeah, it took her a while to get the diagnosis that showed. So this is great information, and I appreciate it. You mentioned stress and sunlight. Running Hereford Ranch, you're stressed and you're out in the sun a lot. So how do you deal with that? How do you make that happen?
I I just push myself. I mean, I push myself to the point that it's probably not great for me, but I also have such a great team of people here. My husband's great support, my family's great support, and they can look at me on any given day and say, wow, you don't feel good. You need to go inside. And I'm not a let's take the whole day off kind of girl. I've never been like that. I'm like, okay, I'll take a 10-minute nap and then I'll be back out, just because I have to keep going. And I feel like that's part of the balance, is push yourself to the point that you're about to get sick, take a quick rest, and then get going.
Yeah, it's hard at being, running a ranch. There's no breaks in between.
It's all stress.
Yes, we're talking with Mrs. Montana, Katelyn Knebel, and here on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. You also support law enforcement, farmers, ranchers, men, women, children. You have a lot of platforms that you support and are behind, and I think that's admirable.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So you leave next week?
I leave on Wednesday. Yes.
Oh wow! So 5-6 days, and where's the Mrs. America pageant?
So it's in Vegas, actually. Very hot.
Yes, lots of sun down in.
Yes, I know. Luckily, we'll be inside for most of it.
Yes. And how many other girls are competing?
So there's someone from every single state plus one. So I think there's 51 of us total.
Okay. And I keep saying girls, but you're ladies.
Same thing.
Are you related? So I think it's a different spelling, but Story Hereford Ranch is not Nelson's Story, right?
No. So my mom calls us the poor stories, which is kind of funny. So we got here in 1919, but Nelson was here, I think, in the the late 1800s, if I'm correct. But it's always this, are you related to stories? And we were all here at the same time, and you hear so many different, like, no pun intended, stories about the stories. And, you never know, but I'm pretty positive we're not related.
Okay. And I think it's a different spelling. And I grew up in Bozeman, so the history of Bozeman is very important to me. And you're obviously a Bozeman girl, so go Hawks, right?
Yes, I know. I was a BHS girl, so
yes.
I go Hawks.
Yes. I mean, Gallatin's cool and all, but you're still Hawks.
I know. And now they finally changed the high school, and it looks amazing.
Yeah. I remember going to school there. So my class was the last class of freshmen at Bozeman Junior High before we became a 4-year high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a lot older than you. No, trust me, I am. Because I graduated in 93, so... Yeah.
Okay.
My 30th is coming up next year, Katelyn.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome though. That's great.
You mentioned your husband. You've been married 6 years. How much support has he been in this pageant running?
Well, this is my only pageant running that I've ever done. So this is kind of new for both of us. But he's been great. He's been up baling hay at 4 o'clock in the morning and baling hay till midnight. And I mean, we're passing ships sometimes because I'm going somewhere and he's going another place, but we always try and reconnect at the end of the day.
Even if it's 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. And like I said, being on the ranch, you've been there your whole life. You grew up on it. And I don't know if you can answer this question, but a couple years ago, Mrs. Montana was not really pro-ranch and pro-agriculture.
Right.
Can you touch on that? Because it's a complete 180 with you.
Right. So I don't know her personally, and I don't know of her stance exactly, but I do know she was not a Montana native, and she was, I believe, vegan. And this area, Montana has grown so much, and now I would say every other person that you run into, they're either, animal activists, vegan, and, I like to share my story and our story with people like that, because I don't think they get the whole story. Tidbits of
Oh, we lost Katelyn there for a second. Hopefully we can get her back. Mrs. Montana, Katelyn Knebel, joining us, Jason Walker Show. Technology.
Also like to be able to tell our story. Oh, you good now?
Yeah, we're good now.
Okay.
I lost you for a second, but you're back.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
No, you're fine. Telling your story, though, is important because you mentioned the family's there in 1919. It's 103 years that the Story Ranch has been there.
Yes.
You mentioned Montana has grown so much. Bozeman has changed a lot over the years, too. We've all seen it.
Right.
And you do see different kinds of people, and it's not saying anything bad about them, but agriculture, ranching, farming is a way of life in Montana, and I think folks have to understand that when they move here.
Totally. And you know what? That's why I think a lot of the reason why they do move here is the open spaces and, agricultural, it's everywhere, whether it's local organic produce that you get at the farmer's market or steaks that you get in a steakhouse downtown. Everything is agricultural, no matter if you run around naked or you have makeup or deodorant. I mean, it all comes from animals. And so we just do our best to tell our story, how amazing it is here on the ranch.
How many head do you got?
So we run about 150 mama cows.
Okay.
And then we've got, I think, 70 replacement heifers and then probably 20 bulls.
Okay. That's a lot. That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And agriculture has changed over the last decade or so too. The price of everything has gone up, and people blame the farmers, people blame the ranchers, but you've got to make a living at some point too, even though you're really not making a living when it comes down to it.
Right. And at that same time, I mean, even me advocating for ranchers and farmers, we don't make that much money. I mean, at the end of the day, I know a new fancy tractor looks great in our front yard, but that takes years and years to pay off. And just to fill up right now with diesel is like, I mean, it's not... We invest everything we have into what we have and what we use. And I think that's the difference between people who know farmers and ranchers and people who don't.
We're talking with Katelyn Knebel, Mrs. Montana. She's leaving next week for Vegas to run for Mrs. America. And it's a great deal. And like I said, you're not only the farmers and the ranchers, but police, law enforcement, first responders, teachers. I mean, you support a lot of different people because they support you in the end of the day.
Yep, they do. I actually had a pancake breakfast at the Gallatin Gateway Rural Fire District last weekend, and it was a fundraiser for my lupus awareness. And I've been talking about being basically a volunteer for that fire district for a couple years, and I took the plunge and I decided that I'm going to get the training and do all the classes, and they took me out on a ride along with my crown and sash, mind you. And it was a tragedy what we had to go see and what we had to go do, but those are volunteers that are saving people's lives. And at the end of the day, they don't have to do that.
Right.
And they do. And it's amazing how they all work together, and the police and the fire department and the ambulance and the life flight. I mean, they don't have to do that for people, and they do. And it's a big part of my heart.
Yeah, my family lived in Gateway from 1989 till about 2014. So,
cool.
Gateway's changed just like Bozeman has, but that fire department, I think Adam Rabel is still there, but they're a great bunch of guys and gals that offer and donate their time to do a lot of things. That pancake breakfast is awesome.
I know. The pancakes are great.
But they can cook too. I mean, they have a lot of,
I know. They made like 1,000 pancakes. It was crazy.
In addition to lupus, you also stand behind autoimmune diseases, and I guess lupus being a part of that. But it's an important thing to get the word out, right?
Yes, it is, and it's not just lupus. Usually, there's a standing joke of people who have and I'm not making fun of them because obviously I'm one of them, but usually if you have one autoimmune disease, they come in groups of 3. So whenever you check the symptom box in the doctor, you just check them all. And so any autoimmune disease, it's related to lupus, Sjogren's, Raynaud's, celiac, IBS. I mean, there are so many of them, and you're not alone by, having them, even though every single person has different symptoms, every single person has different experiences. You can look fabulous on the outside and feel like crap on the inside. Sure. And it's so important that people know more about autoimmune diseases.
How many acres is the Story Hereford Ranch?
So we run cows with our leased property, probably about 1,800 acres. Okay.
And you're north of Bozeman, is that right?
So we are west of Bozeman.
West,
actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to get a little compass out.
Right, yeah, which direction? My family was in Clyde Park for a long time, had a custom haying business, so I don't think we were ever part of your group, but we did a lot of stuff in, my grandpa and my dad really did a lot of stuff in Grandma, in Bridger Canyon, around Clyde Park, Wheel South.
Yeah, you'd be surprised, actually. Probably our grandparents had some function together at one point.
The cattle auctions at the old auction barn there as you turn up to go to Bridger. Yeah, probably.
Yes, they had the best breakfast.
I don't remember it though. I remember I got burned. My grandpa's cigarette burned me. I ran by. He was just holding it. But so, how much hay do you guys put up a year?
Well, it depends. So last year, since we had such a terrible drought, not enough, and we actually had to buy a lot of hay and sell a lot of cows. And typically, so we have irrigation off of the Highline Canal here, and so we typically get water until the second week of July, and then we can get a first cutting off, and then our second cutting watered really well, and then we're cut off for the year.
Okay, so you guys get about 2 cuttings then.
If on a great year, we'll get 3 cuttings, but typically 2, and last year, not really much.
Right. Well, and it's interesting because when COVID hit and rodeos were shutting down and things like that, talking with my friends in the rodeo industry, it all ties back together with farming and ranching because, you're not running stock, but, those stock contractors, those farmers, those ranchers, those communities were suffering because rodeos were getting shut down. And if you're not traveling and making money, you're not having a chance to make the money. And so it affected everybody a couple years ago.
It did. I mean, it still really trickles down. A lot of it does. I mean, we're still down parts that have been back ordered for a year. The places that we get our tractors worked on, I mean, they're short-staffed, and I think really short staff has been one of the most difficult things, from welders to mechanics, any of the trades. There's not enough of them around right now, and it makes it hard because if you're broke down on a Friday afternoon in a baler, you're not going to get seen until Monday or Tuesday if you're lucky. And that's detrimental to hay.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I remember windrowing and baling and swathing, and it was the old school before the cabs. My dad would, tell stories of the snakes coming up and hitting him, or running over baby deer that couldn't get out of the way in time.
I know.
Yeah, I know. That's the tough part. That's the tough part. So what brands do you run? My grandpa was a John Deere guy.
So we run New Holland, and then we run some Case as well.
Okay. Case has kind of taken over the industry over the last couple of decades.
Yeah, they have. And I always joke because I love, we're red. Everything we own is red, basically, just because we're Herefords, and Red Angus as well. Right. And so I always say, if Case could make a female tractor that was like custom catered to a female, it would just my day would be made.
That would be awesome. All right, favorite part of growing up on the ranch?
My favorite part?
Yeah.
Ooh, just being outside and having something new every single day. I'm not a desk person. I'm not a sit inside kind of person. And whether it's 60 below or 105, I have to be outside. It's probably my favorite part.
Okay, my grandpa, my first job, I was probably 6, 7, 8 years old, but working at the, cutting hay and baling hay for the Waddells out by Wilsall. But he would pay me a penny a bale because the baler has to kick out the bales the right way, and sometimes it doesn't for the stacker. Right. But he would pay me a penny a bale to turn the bales over the right way.
Yes,
was that your first job?
Did that too.
Okay. I knew I was making money when I got up to a nickel a bale.
I know you were rolling in the big dough because the strings have to be on the one side, and I would go out there and he'd be like, fix all the ones that that won't work, and I'll give you a penny per bale. I said, okay.
Yeah, if you could get a buck, you were making some bank.
That was a big day.
I love reminiscing about those days. It was so much fun being out in the hay fields all day long.
I know. It taught you really good work ethic, too.
Yes. Kids on the horizon, or do we have kids?
No kids right now. Okay. I have a lot of four-legged kids now.
Yes. Almost 200 of them. Do you have horses too then?
So I have 2 mini ponies, and they don't do anything except for hang out. We used to have a lot of horses, and then my dad had 3 major back surgeries, so we drive Can-Ams. That's kind of our horse right now.
I was going to say, it's hard to herd cattle without something.
Yes, you definitely need a side-by-side or a four-wheeler because you can't beat them.
All right, I asked Miss Last Chance Stampede a couple weeks ago before she won it, but Amber LaCross. But how fast can you saddle a horse?
Ooh, probably not as fast as her.
Do you allow hunting on your property?
Yes, we do.
Oh, okay. I'm going to have to stay in touch with you.
Yes, yeah. So we do archery. We've got mule deer and whitetail and turkeys.
Okay, but no rifle?
It depends.
Okay.
If you go with my dad is a very good tour guide, and because all of our cows are out there at the same time. And I wouldn't call it really hunting. You kind of just drive around in the Can-Am until you find something, and then you take it home.
Those are fun days of hunting, though. That's how my grandpa, took me out in the hay fields and said, "Hey, have at it,"
Yeah,
exactly. I guess it's considered poaching, but when you're 10 years old, you don't care.
They can't find you.
Exactly. Did you learn to drive in a hay field?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
On a stick shift in an old, 82 Ford. Yeah.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Hey, I appreciate the time, Katelyn.
Yes.
And I will hope to stay in touch. When you win Mrs. America, come back on.
I will. I hope I do well. I appreciate you so much for letting me come on here. This was amazing.
Best of luck with your family ranch and with Mrs. America and your lupus. And if you need anything, reach out to us.
Okay. I appreciate it so much.
That was fun. Talking about the old days in the hayfields with Katelyn Knebel, Mrs. Montana. Good stuff. And you can go to her Facebook page and vote for her for, as soon as I find it, I'll tell you. It's pretty cool. Let's see here. Page down. Okay. You can go online to the representing the state of Montana, Mrs. America pageant in Vegas, and you can vote for the top 15 fabulous face contest. You're allowed to vote every day, as many times as you'd like. Each vote costs $2.50, and it benefits programs for Mrs. America. So you can check that out, mrsamerica.com, and then find the fabulous face, Mrs. America. So there you go. The Cascade Conference just released its preseason soccer polls, and Rocky women came in 7th, Carroll 8th, University of Providence 11th. Number 1, Oregon Tech picked to repeat. College of Idaho's number 2, Southern Oregon 3, Eastern Oregon 4, Northwest University 5, Corbin 6, and then you have Rocky in there at 7. Carroll in there at 8. Evergreen State 9. 10 Warner Pacific. And then Providence followed by Bushnell and Multnomah. In the men's preseason poll, Warner Pacific tied for number 1 with Southern Oregon. You've got Corbin 3, Oregon Tech, the defending champs, 4. And College of Idaho 6th, Eastern Oregon 7th, Northwest University 8th, Evergreen 10, Bushnell 12, Multnomah 13, Walla Walla 14. Rocky received a first-place vote, sits in 5th on the men's side. Carroll 9th, and Providence 11th. So that is the preseason polls for the Cascade Conference for soccer. Rocky, Carroll, and Providence play in that conference for soccer. So there you go. Let's do on this day in history. It is August the 4th. It is National IPA Day. Tomorrow is National Beer Day. I feel like we have National Beer Day every couple of months. Today is also National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day and National Coast Guard Day. Now, you go back to chocolate chip cookies. Mrs. Van Diest, Coach Van Diest's wife, made really good ice cream cookies. And then really good chocolate chip cookies floating around out there. It is National Coast Guard Day today. On this date in 1790, the U.S. Revenue Cutter Service, established to serve as an armed customs enforcement service, became the U.S. Coast Guard in 1915. In 1910, MLB pitching duel. You like pitching? This would have been a good one. Philadelphia A's Jack Coombs, White Sox pitcher Ed Walsh pitch a 0-0 tie for 16 innings. 1936, Jesse Owens wins his second gold medal at the Berlin Olympics in the long jump. 1945, Byron Nelson wins the Canadian Open for a record 11th consecutive PGA victory, on his way to a record season tally total of 18. 1982, Joel Youngblood becomes the only MLB player to get hits for 2 different teams in 2 different cities on the same day. He singles for the Mets in Chicago in a day game. He's traded and then singles for the Expos in Philly in a night game. How about that? 1985, future Hall of Famer Rod Carew collects his 3,000th career hit. 1985, Tom Seaver, then of the White Sox, becomes the 17th to win 300 career games. Happy birthday to Maurice the Rocket Richard, born on this date in 1921. Great Montreal Canadian hockey player. 1962, Roger Clemens was born, 7 Cy Youngs. And on this date in 1971, the great Jeff Gordon was born. Won the Cup Series, 4 times. Won the Daytona 500 a few times. And unbelievable. Jeff Gordon, one of the reasons I got into watching NASCAR. Happy birthday to the Rainbow Warrior. Let's do this.
We're almost at the end of the show. What did we learn? And what did he miss? Time for the walk-off.
The walk-off brought to you by Cafe Zydeco, where the Big Easy meets the Big Sky. Stop in tonight for some etouffee or maybe a po' boy or whatever you choose from the great menu. Cafe Zydeco on Euclid in Helena. Great day. Great fun. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll do it again starting next week, Tuesday. We'll recap the weekend. Good luck to everybody competing in your sports this weekend, and have some fun. Stay hydrated. Got some golf this weekend. Got a tournament playing in. I got a Pro-Am on Monday. My last Pro-Am of the season. And some breaking news coming up next week as well. It will be breaking news next week. It's breaking now, but I can't share anything yet. So that's coming up next week, too. Thanks to our guests this week, Logan Matty Todorovich, Blake Knowles, Julie Mack, Alex Eshelman, Amber LaCross, Katelyn Knebel. Have fun. Have a great weekend. Stay hydrated. And stay cool. Always. The Jason Walker Show. We'll see you back here on Tuesday.
The Jason Walker Show is produced by the Jason Walker Media Company. Any reuse, rebroadcast, or retransmission without the express written consent of the Jason Walker Show is strictly prohibited. Just listen, watch, and enjoy.